action.
Hey guys, I am here today with my mom, who's actually here. The example that I feel like the Lord put on my heart, we just came out of a session of what we call Seek and Soak, and I just feel like the Lord gave me something in response to what I've been preaching on this past couple of weeks, and in particular this past Sunday. And it might have made more sense if like my dad was here to talk about God as Father, but my mom was working at the coffee shop, and so she's going to fill in for me right now. But one of the verses that we went over in the sermon was Psalm 16:11, which talks about how there in the presence of God there is fullness of joy, and in His right hand are pleasures forevermore. And there's a lot of conversation that people have about there's this tension about seeking the pleasures in God's hand, right? And how, we shouldn't be just about that or whatever, but it's about relationship and all these different things. And the reality is kind of like my mom has a $20 bill, like I can seek, like she has something that maybe I need or I want, and I can seek that, and if she were to try to hand it to me, I can just be about this, and I'm not even like, you can even tell, like I'm believing that God has it, and I'm asking God that He can give it to me and provide it for me, but like you can even tell just by our body language and the separation that I'm not really like, there's not a whole lot of closeness in this. There's not as much required, and sometimes like what we don't want to do is treat God that way. Like, you have what I need and what I want, whatever, and so I'm just, can you give it to me, please? Like that's how we are with God sometimes. But the reality is in an understanding, as we've been talking about, loving radically from a place of knowing how radically you are loved. I mentioned that in Psalm 16:11, the word in both Hebrew and Greek for the presence of God is actually the face of God. And so in reality, that's a very intimate concept. Not just seeking the presence like, oh, I feel like His presence around me. It's also seeking the face of God. And there's something significant when you seek someone's face. Right? So if I'm seeking the Father's face, in this instance it's my mother and whatnot, and I'm seeking her face and I'm looking at her face, what's inevitably going to happen? I'm going to catch eyes with her. And when I catch eyes with my mother, I'm going to see the love that she has for me. And I'm going to depict, I haven't coached her or anything like that, but I'm going to depict a natural response that would happen within that when you see the eyes of your Father in heaven. And in this instance, even at a smaller version compared to how my Father thinks of me, when I catch eyes with my mother who loves me, a natural response to that. And as I see her, my natural response. And you'll notice, I'm not even forcing the hug. My mother naturally, keep it there though, my mother naturally is hugging me. And so in reality, this is what the Father's after. He's not after a people who just believe He can provide and are asking for His hand where the pleasures and the provisions are forevermore. He's asking for relationship with us. And when we seek His face and we see that we are drawn in to Him, what naturally happened was my mother hugged me. Now look where the provision and where the pleasures forevermore in her hand are. They're naturally upon me. As they are touching my back, when I step into the love relationship that the Father has for me, His right hand, I'm not seeking after it, but His right hand is naturally upon me. So I just feel like that was an image that the Lord is saying, seek me. And these things, everything you need, I know what you need. I know what I created you for. I know what it's going to take to succeed in that. It'll come with it. Don't just seek the hand, but it will be upon you when you seek Him.